Hey everyone, Wild Thing here, getting started with some Kerbal Space Program tonight. A little early, in fact. The wife and kids are out at a rock concert, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to be doing some lander repairs, possibly. More science for sure, and maybe even heading out to Minmus, but we'll see. Right now, the focus is getting our landers repaired and trying to rack in about 1,500 in science in one mission. So let's see if we can get this done here. All right. Rock and roll. So we've been working on some new vessels, repair vessels specifically, see what we could do with these landers. So we're gonna build this new orbiter, Advanced Orbit 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah. Advanced Orbit 3's got all sorts of gooey stuff, including items in its inventory here to hopefully be used in conjunction with Kerbals here. So you're gonna merge Advanced Middle 1B, I think is what we were working with. Yes. And we've got a couple of size, bigger, better, bigger. That, oh. PW rocketry, boom, boom. Not need the shroud though. Not yet. Hold on, boop. Payload action. Let's make sure my sound is working properly. All right. Now we're going to build out our. Wanted. Boom. Done. We're gonna build out the fairing here. Perfect. Let's see. Okay, so we got the advanced orbiter, we got the advanced middle 1B, and advanced lifter 1. Which, ew, not what I meant to do. Let's put that out a little. Where is it? Advanced orbit 3 full ship. Look at that. Space. Open this. And advanced lifter 1. Okay, I think I have better craft file. Yeah. Added a new plugin. I could see my ships a little better. Yeah. Parts mass state. Merge that in. Hall. All right. Advanced orbit ship. Tags. Cheat archived. Status. Final. Love this. Awesome. Oh man, new tags as well. Pfft, done. I love that. All right. First things first, we gotta fix some staging here. We have some staging is not all right, so we are these in correct stages real quick. Done. Somewhere up here. Next should be all of guy by these guys by those guys. Right? Let's see. Be those. Perfect. And it should be not that. Aha. Aha. Bring that down here. Get that staged up properly, and then we need to kick off engine, which is here. Oh, and not just this engine. These engines. All 5 of those. Let's come off when done. And that guy, somewhere in here, this guy's gonna happen. That guy comes off. This guy's engine kicks on. That's it. All right, good. Let's look. All right, so structurally, let's put some struts on here real quick just to make sure that we don't this guy apart real quick. Right here. Yeah. Overkill-ish, but we have refueling to do and some pretty big orbital maneuvers that have to be done. So, let's see. Shell deploy. I like that. Nice. All right, save this ship and crew. All right, crew. If I go out to Mun, I could go out to Mun with this. Or I could just launch another pilot and do it. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're not going to go too crazy on this one. Alright, so we've saved this, and we're going to launch Advanced Orbit 3. Full ship. Alright. We do not need the vessel information. We do need... We need 27 days. Flies. 7 days out. That out real quick. Oh, it might be good. We use maneuver MechJab maneuver planner a pretty decent amount. I like that. All right. Anyway, all right, MechJab. Let's use give us some ascent guidance here, and we need to figure out which orbiter we're going to. We could go to Munlander 4 and work backwards. And then we have Munlander 3 we also need to repair. Munlander 3 is just all sorts of crazy. Set as target. Let's see. Launch to rendezvous. Launch into plane of target. Fair enough. Start here at 250,000 kilometers. And overheats, limit pressure, throttle above 5%. Auto state up to 5. Not deploy solar panels, do not deploy antennas, do circularize. Launching to target plane minus 2 hours and 19 minutes. Got the time. Not like I have to do it. I don't remember if I have to tell this thing to take off or if it will take off on its own. Let's see. About to find out. Also probably going to really regret doing this because MechJab's probably not going to account for something that I was accounting for. What? Here we go. Super loud and on its way up. We're using a new visual effects file too. Scatter, which I'm sure plenty of people have used, but I've never used it before, so that's where we're at. So the target idea here is we're going to launch into the plane of this target, so that way we can catch up with it and get Lander 3 repaired, refueled, and back into orbit of Mun. We'll then deal with Mun Lander 4, and then what we're going to do is we're actually going to land both of those landers in 2 different spots, hopefully. I would love to do it all in one flight, but I'm not sure that that's possible, so we're going to find out. Let's see, MechJab seems to be handling the vessel pretty well. A little bit of sway here, but I'm not sure if that is... I'm not sure if that's just based on the... Oh, look at this. Look at that. That's a really cool... That's a really cool sun flare. Like the rays of light. That's pretty... Oh, we are burning fuel like crazy now. Aggressive ascent vector. Scatter is nice, yeah. So I installed it and big fan. I figured I had to improve the visual quality just a little, right? Like launching so many things and looking at Kerbal for so long, eventually gets a little stale. So. How you today, Solo? How you doing? Our rendezvous information. Relative inclination is 0.1 degrees, not too bad. Our height difference is monstrous, but that's just because we left that lander in some preposterous orbit that we should have never left. Ah, Kerbal never looks so nice. Finally in orbit. Let's... $35, 1.6. Okay, so we'll break that out of a stage, no problem. And we don't need the orbital information anymore. Stack that right at the bottom there. Doing well, thanks. If you like Scatter's effects, you might like OPM and Eve combined with Odds OPM. Learn all these myself, and the game looks great. Okay. Hold on 1 second there. Let me, this in my little notepad here. I will do some research either later this evening or tomorrow. I'll look those up and have a look. I did see when I installed Scatter that it mentioned it worked with Eve. I haven't seen OPM, but then again, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily looking for it, so I'll have a look. Like, this solar effect is so neat. Like, I mean, it's probably gonna get old, right? But like, it's still pretty cool right now. All right, we're in orbit. Awesome. All right, let's get not that we need, but get this vessel out. This is my new and improved orbiter, and it's not necessarily new and improved, right? It's new because it's got the inventory. I literally have no idea how to deal with it, but we're gonna figure it out on the fly right here. That's how it's gonna happen. So we redesigned this with more fuel, with a focus around the idea of actually repairing the damage that was done to these landers. We even got some winches on here to hopefully attach to my Kerbonauts. I think I can attach them. Oh, anyway, it's a utility vehicle, right? It's got some utility to it. So now, let's get rendezvousing, shall we? We're in the same plane, more or less. So, right, I put it right here. Boop, maneuver planner. Match planes with target. We're going to create the node and execute next. Right. Put out this rocket fuel. Those, a lot of them. Got to reduce our weight a little. Can't be trucking around big mammer jammer the whole time. As it is, this is going to be a little wasteful from the fuel department, but that is what it is, man. Everything else is full now. No, aren't these full? Which one are these? No, they're not full. All right, awesome. See if we can get a little more fuel out of these guys, shall we? These guys. Those out. Nice. Okay, next maneuver. Unfortunately, this next maneuver is going to be all me. All me! Create maneuver at Apoapis, and we are going to pick this guy up here. What are the chances? What are the chances? Chances are non-existent. Chances are. The chances are non-existent that you're actually going to get that on the first try. Sure heck is going to try. We're out there. Holy cow. Alright. 696. It's about half the fuel we have in this engine. We got a whole heck of a lot of Delta V in the next engine. So, to execute this node real quick, get us up closer to Lander 3. We'll go from there. I hope I didn't forget anything. I really, actually, I have, let's see. Bill's inventory. Got a book. That book has Kerbal attachment inventory system, where I'm going to read how to do what I'm trying to do. Add amount. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Right click container to open it. Yeah. Tools and EVA items can be found. Yeah. Got all that. Got that. How do I transfer items between two inventories? Just drag and drop. Can he really hold anything though? Can he like hold like a battery? I don't know. Like, take a part out of a container by dragging holding it out in the inventory. Containers, as your container, you can rotate parts, put it back in, maintain. Okay. Oh, I mean, he can hold that battery. I imagine he can hold the lander leg. Huh. Okay. All right. All right. I guess I'm glad I brought the user guide with me then, huh? And all of the parts I need for it, and Bill. I mean, I came prepared for this one. I was hoping that this would work out, but we got to get there first. Because I can repair it. Not only are we going to repair this lander, we're actually going to repair this lander, and we're going to upgrade this lander because this lander has missing some science parts on it. So we're going to. I think we have to replace 3 of its landing struts, and then we're going to install the multispectral sensor so we can start doing some, what is it called? ScanNet, I think it is. It's ScanNet. The one that like scans the telemetry of the planet, so we can get like the flat surfaces, the raised surfaces. We're going to be doing the core drill, which is going to get us a core sample off the planet, and then we're also going to be doing the this neutrons science kit as well, and the negative uh, gravity detector thingy, a bobber, the official term, thingy bobber. So. This maneuver will not be perfect, but should be pretty darn close to what we need. We want to be able to go. We need to be able to go faster than the lander. We need to go faster than the lander. Right now, the lander will be here when we're here, and then the lander is going to blow by us. Of course, let's see. This is actually how many days is this? 4 hours. All right. Let's warp up. See what happens here. Oh, I see, because we're crossing both of those paths. I wonder if I add a maneuver here. Can I? Trying to do. This one's at 7,000 kilometers. And that one's at far away. I'm not sure we're gonna have a choice in this one. Probably gonna have to do a couple maneuvers just to get us in range of this thing, because our orbit is just not matching our elasticity of our orbit, right? It's just way too, well, just way too messed up is what it comes down to. So, yeah, we're gonna be working on that right now. Batteries, they blocked by things, huh? That happens. No. Good. all the way over there. Let's warp up here and see. We were going way too fast. So we might actually catch up to him again. We're gonna have to slow down. Have to slow down. What? Not ideal. Better. Yeah, but like sustainably. Oh, that's better. It's a much better. That puts us. That puts us in the neighborhood. Puts us right in the neighborhood. I'm gonna execute this node. Puts us in the neighborhood, and then we should be able to do a maneuver that at least gets us pretty darn close, and then we can do a approach maneuver to fix our distance issues. Delta V left in this rocket. I was kind of surprised. Thought this guy would be empty by now. It's fine. It's just like wasteful. Then again, getting rid of the rocket with all that fuel in it is probably equally as wasteful, so won't be doing it. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Kilometer away. Oh. .2 kilometers away at 3.1 meters per second relative speed. Yep. That'll do. That'll do. There she be. Munlander 3. Little far away. But we'll make it work. Okay, and now we're going to match velocities with target at closest approach. That will put us at 0.3 kilometers with 0 relative. Yeah, that's happening. All right, McJab, let's finish it up. Rendezvous like a pro. Yeah, but now if only I could get this Mun landing thing squared away so I stop crashing it. I think I got a better sense of it now because I want to be able to land on Mun and start drilling ore so I can start making fuel out here so I could stop with all of these re-entries because it's kind of silly, right? It's like we constantly are re-entering for no good reason. So I have to say though, this docking port alignment indicator thing is amazing. Best thing ever. What's up, Deck? Zoom Deck. Oh, hey man. Oh, hold on. Hey man, what's going on? How you doing?
About to play some Kerbals as well.
Nice.
Made it to min-miss.
Nice.
With what? Pretty sure was the stupidest landing I've ever made.
I'm in the process of repairing a broken lander's legs that I broke on a previous landing so that I can go back to Mun. I might go to Minmus.
I didn't use any lander legs. I just brought it down retrograde and then countered with my RCS thrusters to just hover, but like specifically on the surface so it counted as a landing.
Not bad.
Well, I never actually deployed landing gear and the ship was actually constantly under acceleration. It was always under thrust.
But it was close enough to register as having landed on the planet.
It was right there.
Nice.
It was just perfectly, whatever the acceleration due to gravity was, my ship, I just countered with exactly the same acceleration.
Gotcha.
Got boatloads of science for it. Still haven't landed on Mun though.
No? Why not?
I mean, maybe I can now, because I've unlocked a ton of stuff from that Inmus trip. Yeah, I don't know why Mun is harder for me.
I don't find Mun too hard, but I just interesting information here that Solo on our Twitch stream just mentioned is that apparently in 4.1.4.2 landing legs are broken, and anything over 0.2 they explode, which would explain why a couple of times that I've landed on Mun, especially the last time, I thought for sure I nailed that landing, and yet I did not. I broke things.
So it has to be under 0.2.
Which is it's got to be broken in the file.
That's rough.
Yeah, like. And yes, Solo. I think I know. I've looked at the config files. I'm gonna have to take a look and take a look at them and see. I am gonna try another landing, see if I can pull it off. Like break them again.
Get it under. I mean, do it. It's hard, but you can do it.
At least docking has become a little bit of a more straightforward process.
Has it?
It has. Well, I use this add-on called Docking Port Alignment, and it gives you a really good gauge, like just like good information the entire time as far as like where you are in relation to the other port, and it gives you like all of your like relative velocity information, and it gives you like the target indicator, where your heading indicator, and like where your velocity is kind of going, so that like, you can kind of, if you line the three up, you will dock every time. Like that. Shut down these engines real quick.
Yeah, I just unlocked heavier rocketry and advanced fuel systems, so
Nice.
definitely going to be able to go more places now.
Crash tolerance equals 30, braking force equals 100, braking torque equals angular drag, huh? Alright. Certainly gonna take a look at that before I land on Mun again. Don't wanna blow up my legs again, especially if I pull off this repair. That would be really agitating. Bill, well, got here, shall we? Gotcha. Gotcha. Under angular drag and before max temp. We'll take a look at it in just a moment. First things first. The bill on EVA. Famous last words, Bill.
Don't want me doing that.
Now, not close enough. We can access from the inside of the ship. Put it into his inventory. Try that. Board. Let's see. And build inventory. And let's try moving a leg in here. Destination. Oh. Maybe Bill can't put this leg on because it's too big. Read about that. Care about stackable parts. The content of part as a fuel tank in a container by hovering over it. You can also change. No. No. Containers, dismount, and remount. Nope, don't care about that. Inventory use and parts transfer. You can quickly open or close your current Kerbal's inventory by pressing tab. You can also right-click on it. Yeah, I got that. You can open, transfer between two inventories. Just drag and drop them from one to the other. Oh, but there's got to be enough space for that. That's the problem. Attach parts. Your Kerbal needs to equip specific tools. A wrench or electrical screwdriver. When you are in place mode, press and hold H at attach a part to surfaces. You can attach parts using
Ability
the
to track
node.
onto maneuver node.
Attach parts. Press and hold. Root part can't be detached. Detaching a part will decouple it apart from the parent. Explosives, wrenches can't attach parts using node snapping. Planet surfaces are not allowed. Changing the variable containers in line container. Kerbals can't run with a container. Grabbing, dropping. Enable grab post. Use equipment. Close. Try it again.
User joined your channel.
What up?
Good evening.
How's it going?
It's going alright. Oh, we're flying some spaceships.
Seriously? I think I hit EV, like, I keep hitting board like a million times over. I'm not sure why. Alright. Tab didn't do it. Right clicking on him didn't do anything. Bills inventory. Press X. Whoops. Whoops on right hand. Press again. Bill. Okay. Weird.
Ability to track onto maneuver node.
What do you mean?
Like SAS lock to maneuver node.
You have it available. I think it's like your pilot has to be level 5 to do it, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Should be available too.
I can't. Spec Pro and Retro, both radials and normals, but I can't. Or RCS fuel. You're using too much RCS fuel.
Again. Come on. Bob.
Hello, deck.
Hello.
I'm not sure that the Kerbal attachment system is working. Because this is the right guy, right? Bill is the engineer. Bill has an inventory. Bill's inventory contains electric screwdriver. Alright. Well, that stinks. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe I'm missing something. Patch. System. Allows bringing parts into space and attaching them to builds this mod. Ban chaos with. Okay, but how do I do it? Oh, I didn't realize you could do that. That's pretty. Okay, well, I do believe that the Kerbal attachment system is not working, or I am missing something. Kind of a bummer. We must do more research to figure this out. Well, right now I'm trying to. Right now, what I'm trying to do is simply just engage the tool, like the wrench, you know, to actually use it. But like what I've noticed is like I can't access his inventory when I right click on him, and all the commands that the guide suggests would be usable for Kerbal attachment are not responding. Like, you know, it says like you could press 1, you could right click on him to access inventory from EVA, but but right clicking to access from EVA doesn't actually work. I'm not sure if I'm missing something. I don't think I'm missing anything. I've satisfied all the like prerequisites for the plugins, so yeah, so like when I'm hitting tab, which you'd assume would bring it up, but no bueno. I can access it when I'm in the ship. I can access his inventory when we're sitting in his when he's sitting in his command pod. So it's obviously working here. Bill's inventory is working here. So I have the wrench, which really I don't need both of these, right? Like, it says equips on right hand. Okay, so that's great. I put this little science thing in here as an item that we would load up, but for whatever reason, it refuses to work once we're on EVA. Kind of odd. I'm gonna check to see if I'm missing something as far as like recommended add-ons. Maybe something didn't load properly, though. I think they loaded. I brought both because I wasn't sure. I figured I'd bring both just to be on the safe side. The Kerbal inventory system. Brand new inventory system and EVA usable items. Okay, what's the relationships? Got those, got those. Got all of this installed. Okay, let's go to their forums real quick. Yeah, I'm thinking that right now. Main features. Let's see what they say as far as brokenness is concerned. Ah, there's 29 pages, huh? Well, let's go to page 29 and see what the last poster said. Hopefully they're saying, hey, something's broken. How do I fix it? Ah. Oh, okay. There might be some files I have to edit here. The proper module manager. Well, what module manager do I have installed? Stand by for addressing technical difficulties. Module manager. 306. What I have installed. I think that's what I have installed. Let's see. Was it janitor? I think janitor had well, that's unfortunate. It looks like I actually have to do some work here if I'm gonna fix this thing. Thanks for your work. I love this mod. Running yada yada yada. Second part. Stock attachment road, i.e. the hub max does not allow. Well, attachment system. What I have installed. And the latest Kerbal inventory system. That's unfortunate. Technical that's troubleshooting it. No bueno. No bueno. crashing issue. Just a not working issue. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. So you could always land the lander without the legs. Oh, but that's a... Alright, well, we can't fix it right now, but we could put it back into a reasonable orbit. So let's do that first. Get rid of the fuel in this guy, because this is just excessive, not required anymore. Dump the fuel out of this guy. It's done. Perfect. All right, change inclination to 0 degrees. Create the node, execute the node. So, we might not be able to do the attachments right now. We'll have to figure that out with a little bit of troubleshooting and some good old-fashioned tech support. But we can at least fix some of the orbital stuff that we knew we had to fix anyway, and that I'll just bring up another lander and deal with it that way. I know that the winch works. I was able to attach it. We know that the inventory works because I'm able to access the inventory. We just can't get the... an issue with... Tried Bill. Bill's an engineer. Supposed to work as. I'll have to double check what modules are installed, loading up, and make sure that I'm getting all of them, because I don't think I have... I know I have 65 mods installed, but it only shows 50 when I load up, but some of those mods might not load in the traditional sense, so... we will see. We'll see. Also doesn't change the fact that I can't actually put the legs on because they're too big, so it may be maybe all for naught. Let's see, while we're doing this, bring up the Steam directory here. Kerbal comment, Kerbal. You're looking for parts. Parts. Skills. Ending gear. Ending gear medium. You're looking for what would... angular drag. Or drag. before max temp. Crash tolerance, braking force, braking torque. Which none of them are. Like, crash tolerance is there. Crash tolerance is set to 70. Braking force is 50, and braking torque is 50. So Solo, if I already have crash tolerance, braking force, and braking torque, should I move them up before max temp or just leave them there? Because you mentioned it was before, after angular drag and before max temp, but it is there, not not in the right spot. It looks like. Oh, a very heavy craft, can't seem to land without tier 2 landing legs, a touchdown, 100-ton craft, I'm on at around 3 to 4 meters per second, legs explode, try checking the change log, I'm currently getting land, maybe. Oh, okay. So, I mean, it is entirely possible that I messed up in the landing. It happens. Braking force numbers already in it. Are you on the LT lander? I think I'm on. Let's see. Let me just double check here. This is the. Oh, wait a second. What? No. Might not be it. Here. Ah, here we go. On the wrong one. Landing leg LT2 is what we're working with right now. So its crash tolerance is 12. I wish I understood. Do you know what the numbers actually equate to? Like when it says crash tolerance 12, is that like 1.2 meters per second? I'm assuming that's like the amount of resistance or amount of weight that like hits. You're showing crash tolerance of 30, braking force of 100, a braking force of 80, braking torque of 80. This is the landing leg, the LT2 landing strut, I think is what we're. Yeah, the L2-T landing strut, this bad boy. There. Circular. Yeah, and I don't know either, but changing it, as I mentioned, seemed to work well enough without becoming a cheat. No. Snow to get this guy back into orbit here. Oh. Oh, awesome. Someone made a GitHub bug fix for this. For the landing legs. Ah, I see. I see. So, check this out. Tell me what you think about that. So it looks like someone made a GitHub release 4 days ago. Came out with a patch 142, came with a few bugs, one including the landing legs are braking on impact at any speed above 1.1 meters per second. Yeah. And so this guy basically released the patch to patch the 3 landing legs that I guess are bugged out. Good to know, because if I landed another lander and broke those legs again, I probably would switch to wheels.
I would laugh.
I'd probably switch to wheels. I'd be like, you know what? Forget this. I'm switching to wheels. Still don't know why the Kerbal attachment system isn't working. That's kind of a bummer. It could be that. It could be any number of things.
What are you still trying to accomplish on Mun? What do you got left to do there?
I have one or two places that will get me science. So this is really just a mission for picking up science so I can unlock a couple more of like the higher end tiers. But at the same time, like if I go out to like as an example, like if I go out to Minmus, like I'm gonna get a lot more science there than I will at Mun. So I'm kind of on the fence right now. Like I think I can do one or two more landings to get some like get a decent amount of science, and
Right.
then I'd be done with Mun. The only reason why I'd use Mun potentially would be is if there was ore out there that I could mine for fuel generation out in space versus constantly coming up from Kerbin.
Gotcha.
So now what I'm gonna do, since like for whatever reason the Kerbal attachment system is working, and that's okay, I'm gonna basically gonna get all the landers that are broken, put them into an appropriate orbit for around Kerbin, and then figure out the attachment system at a later date. I just checked my own kit. I seem to be okay on Kerbin anyways. Not having any problems attached. See, I'm wondering, like, it seems to be maybe it's an issue with being in orbit. And in fact, I could test that when I land again, and I could simply just make a simple ship for them to pop out of. And maybe it's an issue with the fact that I'm floating. But I thought you could use the Kerbal attachment system even in space. But I could be wrong. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Do not know. Okay. I mean, the features clearly are working because I mean they're there, they're available to me. So the question just comes down to, why isn't it working? That being said, the part I'm going to try to install, I can't install because it's just too damn big. So I might not be able to repair these legs at all, which would mean, well, really nothing, right? I mean, it's not like we're playing the game for with money belt turned on. So, see. All right, so now what I'm trying to do set up my maneuver to Mun that puts me in at least a close enough orbit path that I need, so that I'm not like spending all this delta V to get there and then more delta V to fix the problem once I got there. There we go. That's definitely not what I'm talking about. Require. Whatever. We'll make it work. Execute that node. Figure it out when we start the process. Homesickness. Ah, crap. Not realize that.
Oh, don't kill the green guys.
Oh no, they don't die. They just refuse to work. Different. Wonder why those two got affected by that. That's weird. I didn't realize it was up here for that long. But Jebediah is fine. Jebediah is just like, man up. Fine. Fortunately, we only really need Jebediah. In fact, we probably don't even need him, because if we have radio communication, then they'll work regardless. Like, I can use the remote control of the vessel.
Then send them home.
Hold on, all this fuel, I've gotta do at least one more maneuver here to fix this Mun orbiter that's kind of just hanging out right there. Though I guess technically speaking, I'm probably never going to use it because I can't fix the legs. Unless I land it on Mun ever so gently. We've seen how that goes. If I land it on Mun, it'll be rolling there on the ground. All right. Well, once again, working on some rendezvousing. Grabbing this next lander, putting him back in orbit around Kerbal as well. And then I think we'll just go out to Minmus just for the heck of it, because we haven't done it yet, and we certainly have the vessel to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if I do.
I have the vessel to do it. And actually, the delta V difference between like Mun and Minmus is like almost non-existent. It's like such a small amount. So I'm gonna
it's
do
easier
it.
to get to Minmus, in my opinion.
Minmus is flatter, if I'm not mistaken, than Mun. If I recall from the what I was reading about it, because they was talking about like some like landing.
Massive, like frozen lakes that are just so easy to land on.
Hey, wire guns over at Mixer. I was not landing. I was attempting to repair some landers, but Kerbal attachment system either doesn't work right now or it's an issue in actual space. So when we're in orbit, so now what I'm doing is I'm collecting my derelict vessels, and I'm going to and then I'm going to go out to Minmus and land there. So this actually won't take much longer. This should only take a few more minutes to get this guy teed up here, and then we're going to go out to Minmus and we'll land there. And actually, well, we're going to land there, but I have to restart the game because there's a bug with all the landing struts, and I'm not keen on blowing up my landers again.
Would land how I landed.
With no landing. Actually, the fact of the matter is, you're probably right. I probably could just land these without any landing gear and have a better success right now than with the bugged out landing gear.
True. Point it as straight as you can. Make sure you come in at 0.1 meters a second. Do it without landing gear.
Probably make that work. Trying to ram the thing. We're just trying to catch it. But they do have a bug fix here, so I actually could probably load that patch while I just maneuver quick. It's right here. Downloads. Bad with manager nodes. You have any helpful tips? Meaning like when you're modifying your nodes to kind of like get your trajectory correct or like your rendezvous appropriate. I think that's what you mean by that. I use a plugin actually. Yes. Yeah. Hold on, Solo, 1 second. Okay, so wire guns. The I use. I'm gonna link it right now. Give me a second here. I use D-Magic's Evolved. No, what? Not the right one. Oh, because it's right here. This has two things. It has Tracking Station Evolved, which I don't really use, but it also has maneuver node evolved. I use maneuver node evolved, and that is what allows you to once you set up your basic maneuver, then you can like right click on the maneuver and then you can edit your 3 different degrees. So give me 1 second and I'll finish what I'm talking about. I have to send a link here over on Twitch to Solo asking about the bug fix for the landing legs. I'm going to link that now. I'll link it here too. Bug fix. All right, so wire gun, you're asking about doing maneuver nodes. So as an example, when I create a maneuver node, and let's just say, I do use mech jab to help me a little on this, but let's say we want to match velocities with this target at its closest approach. So I have my maneuver here, and you can pull on your starts, your stops, and whatnot, and that's great. But with maneuver node evolved, when you right click, it gives you an option to actually alter manually alter the delta V input? Oh yeah, no, solo. I'll figure that one out in a second here. So wire it allows you to modify your delta V a little more defined, right? So you can increment it from 0.01, 0.1, 1, 10, 100, as you can see. So the idea is like once you have a node kind of like in the range of where you want, but let's say you want to have like a higher apoapis or higher periapis, or you're like, man, I'm really close, but I need to like adjust this like a really small amount, but like, you know, the mouse maneuver is it's just too kind of like bull in a china shop. You can use this to kind of edit this information here. The other one is actually allows you to change when the maneuver node is going to occur, and this is all through maneuver node evolved. So I could say, okay, I want to do next orbit, I want to move an orbit, or I want to do periapis instead of apoapis and stuff like that. So it makes making maneuver nodes a little easier because it just makes them a little more manageable from the sense that you're not hoping and praying that you get the right maneuver in that time. When are you doing your maneuvers though? Like where do you struggle the most? Is it when you're trying to circularize? Is it like when you're trying to rendezvous with a vessel? What issues do you find yourself having? While you answer that question, I'm going to execute this note. Rendezvous. Okay. So rendezvous are kind of a pain in the rear end, right? Because you really need to make sure that you're I find the easiest way for me to rendezvous is where like my apoapis is kind of above the other target's orbit and my periapis is below, right? And the idea is that um, you know, you're either trying to catch up or slow down to it. And when I get close enough, that's where I'll do my maneuver node. I'll do a manual maneuver node to get me really, really close, and then okay, I don't have to use mech jab for this, but it's easier because mech jab actually has a decent functionality for this one. I'll use mech jab to do match velocities as my closest approach. So now I know that at like, I'm like pretty much right next to this thing right now, actually. So I'm 4.21 meters away. I'm 421 meters away from this thing, and I could literally do nothing, and we'll end up in about what 5 minutes. I'll be more or less the same distance, right? So we're kind of at a point now where there are no more maneuvers to be planned, right? The next step is just to basically get me to that guy. And so I try not to go over 2 meters per second. In this case, I mean, we're definitely going to be doing 2 meters per second because we're already pretty darn far away. All right, so we're now moving 2 meters per second to this guy. Another thing I like to use for rendezvous is I like the plugin called docking port alignment indicator, and it's a pretty straightforward. But what it does is it gives you some pretty cool indicators here as far as like where you are, your distance. Like you can see right now, like the docking port for this vessel is not facing my vessel because I don't see an orange indicator. So the idea is that the green indicator, the yellow indicator, and this orange arrow is an orange indicator all need to be lined up to say, hey, you're going directly for that vessel. So what we can do is we can switch over to Mun Lander 4, and you kind of have to switch between vessels. It doesn't really, I mean, I guess, okay, theoretically you don't have to do it, but it's not easy to be trying to dock two vessels where you only have one vessel being part of the solution here. So what you're doing is like I bring Munlander 4 in, kick on its SIS. I say, hey, I've targeted this vessel. I want you to turn to the vessel so that way it makes life a lot easier. And you could see the docking port alignment indicator just showing me, hey, my orange, my yellow, and my green, which is orange is my target, yellow is myself, and green is my relative velocity or relative velocity to the target. So they're all lined up. Theoretically, I could do nothing, and these guys would probably will dock without an issue. But I'm not a big fan of just letting things happen without any control. So like once I'm lined up, I will once again make sure that I'm on target, and then I'll start using some RCS to basically translate myself into the right location. So right now I'm using RCS to get my yellow, the yellow indicator, my orange indicator, and my green indicator all in line with each other. Yeah, bumper cars in space, Solo says over on Twitch. And so now it's just a waiting game, right? Like, I mean, I could speed up time, but we're at 2 meters per second. Okay, we'll speed up just a smidge. All right, bringing down time here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my RCS to just slow me down a little, get me to about 1 meter per second, because just in case. I mean, it's probably a little more conservative than it needs to be, but I'm also not trying to blow up the vessel or prove any points here, right? Like, I want the two vessels to dock, and I don't want to have to do it a million times. How many sites am I broadcasting to, Solo? I am broadcasting to Mixer and Twitch. We play a lot of Sea of Thieves, and so and that's like kind of like in the Xbox Live arena. So Deck had mentioned going out to Mixer, and it's nice. I like going out to both because like there's just different populations in each. So I'm actually going to work on improving my overlay and actually showing both the Twitch chat and the Mixer chat on the same overlay. As you can see, docking complete. Okay, so Xbox is lit, says Wire Guns on Mixer. I like Xbox. I mean, I've owned probably every single Xbox that's ever come out. I'm a big fan of it. I do like a lot of the cross-platform stuff. Now gives you a lot more functionality. Yes, Solo. I could add YouTube gaming, and I've thought about it. But I'm not sure. We're gonna see because it's kind of hard to manage just two chats right now. I think once I have my overlay set up where I can show the chats for both Mixer and Twitch, it'll make life a little easier. Because then, like right now, it's like talking to on Twitch, like my Mixer viewers aren't seeing those chats and vice versa. So I try to like be conscious of that and repeat the information across both. But I am gonna work on my overlay just to make it easier for everyone, right? So it's like if you're sitting there and you're watching and I'm talking to Wire Guns over on Mixer, you're not wondering, well, what did he just say? Wiregun says KSP on Xbox is easy to control. I have never played KSP on Xbox. I didn't even realize it. I guess I never realized it was out there. Yeah, unified chat all the way. Okay, well that was easy-ish. Now let's see if I can get back with the amount of Delta V I have, which isn't a lot. ISP on this guy is 412. And the ISPs on these. Activate that one. Let's try and maneuver here. Periapis of 10 meters, 10,000 kilometers, 10,000 meters. Yeah, that won't work. That would kill us. Actually, it'll work fine. It's just the lander will never survive. Oh, you're streaming it now on Xbox? That's cool. I guess it must be. I guess with all the controller stuff, they must have to take into account certain things. So then on Xbox, then you can't really run any mods, can you? Oh. See, I might struggle on that one. I mean, not that I couldn't run this with mods. It's not to say that at all. Like, I can run it without mods, but I like the mods. Like, I like certain features that KSP just doesn't have built into it yet. So, no. No. It's off. Very Apis will work. Ow. That node. I guess. But here's the thing. What I like about the mods, I like some of the different, like, as an example, like I have a science mod that gives us a lot more science options. There's some pretty cool like space plane mods and some pretty cool engine mods. So, I mean, I guess it really wouldn't be an issue to run it without any mods. I mean, I certainly don't need MechJab, but I like Kerbal Engineer as an example, and I know that like when you're building rockets, like I don't believe that KSP has a built-in kind of like overview for like how your stages will perform, right? So those are some of the things, some of the features that I kind of missed when I didn't have any of the mods installed. Was like it makes like rocket development a little harder. I would argue that it makes rocket development a little harder. So Deck, you there? Sure, he's there. His headset probably turned off because taking a while. God, what's my habitation? Oh yay, they're working again. Add a maneuver. How am I so good at nodes? Well, I guess realistic. Like, I mean, first off, okay, let's not use MechJab. You can't use MechJab, so there's no point in me showing you MechJab stuff because you don't have that plugin. So I mean, realistically, right? When we're looking at, let's look at this here, right? We're gonna do a node on the periapus, okay? And so here's some things we know. If we go retrograde, which is this indicator here, it's going to bring my apoapus down straight up, right? Because I'm slowing down how fast my vessel's moving at its lowest orbit. And by doing that, I'm essentially allowing the gravity of whatever celestial body I'm around to have more of an effect because I'm not going fast enough to kind of keep going up. So what we're going to do is we want to slow down our apoapus, right? Now we're working with a delta V of 650 meters per second, right? Because I need to still be able to get back into Kerbin. I need to be able to land. So I can't just burn all this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to use about maybe like 200 meters per second, okay? And what we're doing right now is we're simply just trying to get the lander that I have here into a reasonable orbit. Now, if I'm not oh gosh, not that one. That. I'm pretty sure if you hold down, oh, don't do that. No, don't do that. Come on, my focus back on Kerbin, please. Fix my focus here real quick. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so we want to, I think if you, I don't know what it is on Xbox, but there's got to be one that lets you do fine adjustments versus big adjustments, right? But like, all I'm trying to do right now is get my maneuver to about 200 meters per second. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and so we're going to do this manually. We're going to do this one manually. So we're going to warp to about here. Our maneuver is in about 5 hours and 49 minutes. It's going to take about 17 seconds. So we're going to warp to about 2 minutes before the maneuver, just so it gives me time to turn the vessel to where it needs to go and all sorts of fun stuff. So in this mission, I don't have enough delta V to put my lander in an orbit that I can work with, right? So right now I'm just simply trying to get the lander in an orbit that is under Mun's, the potential of Mun's influence, right? Because all the way out here, you know, depending on the orbit, I will most certainly pick up Mun again. And I don't want the lander to get sucked into Mun's influence. So we're at 1 minute 20 seconds before the maneuver. We've got our maneuver. We're pointing towards the maneuver node right now. We're going to speed up to about, let's say 30 seconds before the maneuver. All right. Now, in this situation, I really don't have to wait. I can wait until the node is at 0, until the maneuver is at about 0 seconds. Depending on what you're trying to do and how fine you want it, you might want to do it like at this 17-second mark. Like I could start here, all right? And I'm going to start my maneuver a little before because I know that I'm not going to finish the maneuver in time. And I'm basically just burning it up. But because what I'm trying to do is a much bigger maneuver, it doesn't necessarily have to be precise, right? I'm just trying to get this thing in. So we're going to slow down the engine. You see it's almost no thrust. This green check mark is essentially telling us, hey, you're kind of in the zone of where you want to be, right? Now, as far as finishing this maneuver off is concerned, kind of don't really have to do anything else. If we wanted to adjust the planes, we would find we could change the plane if we wanted to make this a little more even, because we're doing this manually and we're not using mech jab. You kind of see like when I raise up on the purple triangle, which I'm pretty sure is normal, and anti-normal, right? So normal is I'm facing up, right? If I'm orbits like this, normal would be facing up, or what north would be. Anti-normal is facing down, or what south would be. So what I'm trying to do here, this basically would adjust my orbits in the way of my inclination, but I don't really want to do that per se. I need to find where in my orbit where in my orbit is the inclination that I'm trying to find, meaning like this here is let's see what orbit is. So I'm currently at an inclination of 3.9 degrees, meaning I'm 3.9 degrees off of what the equator would be for Kerbal. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find where my 0 is. Now I know that, as an example, I know that all of these orbital lines are 0 because I had put them into a 0 orbit. So I can go here, say I'm going to add a maneuver here, and the goal is to try to adjust my orbit based on where I know 0 to be. Okay? So you could see I'm by burning to the south, or anti-normal, I'm bringing my inclination up ever so slightly. It's not going to be perfect, but it will do the job for what we need here. I also don't need to really do any of this because ultimately I'm just leaving the lander in orbit. I can come up later and I can pick up that orbit, pick up that lander and do stuff with it. So, but we have so much delta V. I mean, 454. I mean, I could burn another 200 and be perfectly fine. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to try to fix the orbit a little. Okay. The blue indicators are your radial in and radial out being pulling the orbit out more ultimately. So in this case, if I'm doing radial out here, I'm bringing my periapus out while bringing my apoapus in ever so slightly. You can kind of see like I'm shifting my orbit, right? So that the height of my orbit's in a different spot than where the lower part of my orbit is. I'm doing this simply because I don't want my periapus to be down in the low 80s. I want it to be somewhere over 100, and that's just personal preference, kind of up to you. And then I can also do a little bit of slowdown here. Again, like I'm going to burn 200. That's what I'm going to do. 200. Anything above 200, it's just I don't need it. I don't need to do it. So there we go. So at the end of this result, I'll have a periapus of still a little too low. Some of this. Perfect. That will do the trick. Don't need to worry about it anymore. Okay, so now I've got another maneuver node that I can work on. And again, it's just, you got to be delicate with it. You know, doing maneuver nodes has simply just been a simple fact of like learning from my mistakes and trying to figure it out. And then again, being on a PC, have your plugins, which do help. I mean, I know that it's easy on the Xbox, but you add like just Kerbal Engineer and MechJab alone make the game, I don't want to say easier to the point that it's like cheating, because I would argue that it's not, but it's more along the lines of like, you go into orbit, right? Let's say you launch 100 rockets into orbit and you get a good science down of how to get into orbit, no issue. And let's say you rendezvous with like landers like here 100 times, right? It gets to a point where you're like, okay, do I really need to do this the 101st time? No. You know, do I really need to do maneuver nodes like I just did? you know, if you've done like 1,000 maneuver nodes? And the answer is no. At a certain point, you don't, right? You get to a point where you're like, man, like I just want to be able to do this maneuver quickly because I like the idea of like building the vessels and, you know, and that like bigger picture stuff. So like it gets to a point where like you want to use some of the mods just because it does make life a little easier. Now, don't get me wrong, I do this in career mode, well, science career modes. It's like, so it's not like I'm just kind of getting away with bloody murder here. Like, you know, I still have to gain the science to get the parts. So I don't know, personal preference, I suppose. All right, let's get into, so we're going to burn this node at 8 seconds, halfway through um, the burn time, just so that way, if, you know, so in this case, it was a 16-second burn. So we want to do half the burn before the node, finishing with half the burn after the node, so that way any mistakes, any changes that we make in our orbit due to when we did the burn will be made up because we're kind of, we're starting the node early and finishing the node late. And we are fine. We're done. No more node maneuvers to do here. So what we'll do is I know that this vessel can handle the reentry that we're about to handle, but we'll probably pull in here. We'll be fine. Okay, so we decouple this node. Find out we have about 406 delta V left. So the next thing we want to do is at our periapus to come back into a stable orbit. We want to burn as much delta V as we can, leaving about, I'd argue, I'd do about half. Do about half of this delta V. We're going to take 200 off, bringing the height of our orbit down a bit. Still a little high, and what we'll do is we're going to do an aero brake maneuver just to wrap up this. So let's go to maneuver planner here. We're going to let mech jab do this for us, just because mech jab, again, it does the maneuver a lot, not better. I mean, you can do it, but at the same time, like, you're not so focused in on that like 0.01 meter per second change that you really want to get done. So mech jab just adds a little bit of like ease to the game. I get it. You know, if you're trying for realism, but not for nothing. If we were talking about full realism, Jebediah would be doing this maneuver, and I'd be down in, you know, Houston, basically being like, yo, Jebediah, burn 200 meters per second at this point at this time, and I'd go and be launching another vessel and you know, working on something. So I guess it's a balancing act, right? So that's how I look at it. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to look at a maneuver here. Is if I bring this down, and so what you just saw here, if you're still watching Wire Guns, is I have a plugin that's called Trajectories, and what that does is it shows me where the wear on the atmosphere would be, right? So it's saying I need 40 meters per second at this height to get into the atmosphere and do almost an entire orbit, but essentially an entire deorbit. It's aggressive, especially since we have 200 meters per second of delta V available. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do another maneuver at the periapus, and we are going to slow down even more by, I'm going to say 150. Use our maneuver editor to actually to really get right on that marker. So we're going to burn, let's say 156. We're going to burn 156 delta V. We're going to bring the apoapus down to 427. That leaves us with 50 meters per second of change available, and that's going to be more than enough for what we need to do. Because we already saw that it only took us about 39 meters per second of change to actually go back into orbit. So we're leaving 50 meters per second for just in case, I don't know, I lose my mind and make some completely crazy mistake in my maneuver here. Perfect. So now we come out here to the Apoapis. We're going to make one final maneuver. We're going to burn out essentially enough delta V to land. .42 puts us somewhere on the back of this planet for which I cannot see. That is totally okay. I don't think I'd want to go any slower than that. I don't want to I don't want to burn up in the atmosphere. You know, if I slow down too much, I mean, at the end of the day, what are we talking about? Like, probably be fine right there. Overshoot just a little. All right, so execute this. Here we go. Time to land. Time to land. Even though we have no science to speak of, 2 Kerbals that are in tourist mode due to the fact that I use life support on this playthrough. The 2 of them, I lost their habitation. I don't know what I did on that one, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if it was because I had Bill doing all those EVAs or what happened there, but all I know is that Bill and Bob are just straight up not happy with me. Okay, so last but not least, put the vessel into retrograde. We're gonna fast forward right into atmosphere, right into the atmosphere here. That. Our periapus is 46,000 meters. Pretty good chance we are going to deorbit without any issues. That being said, we are going to break loose the lower section, like so. Double check, and if, oh yeah, okay, so it's going to be a pretty decent orbit. In fact, we'll probably come back up and go down, as you can see here. And that's just because, like, this heavier section was dragging us down, right? So without it, like, it's not dragging us down as much. But as I've learned, if I break this off too early, it's going to be like this anchor around me the entire time. And because most of those parts are going to explode as they hit the atmosphere, I don't really want them to blow up by my vessel. Orbit is gone, stage is gone. We're going to leave now. Again, this is all Kerbal Engineer. So this is going to show me some information as far as like my critical thermal percentage, or how hot the hottest part is getting and how close it is to blowing up. As you can see, 50%. We're not nowhere near going to be an issue. Perfect. That's it. We're done deorbiting. Be out of the atmosphere burn in just a second. And trajectory is saying we're going to land somewhere in these big highlands. Heat no longer an issue. As far as my excessive use of parachutes that you're about to see, I just can't help myself. Just cannot help myself. Just islands. Many. All right, well, we'll get this on the ground, and we're making a launch to Minmus. That's what's going to happen. I have to reload the game, though, because the landing was broken. I double check these patch files before I just go loading unknowns up into my business. All right. Let's see, Steam. That's buddy. Parts. Ability. Done. Okay. Oh, we're on the ground. We're moving on the ground. That's kind of funny. All right, let's hey, relax your roll. Bill. I gotta know, Bill. I gotta know. Can we? Gotta know, Bill. Can you do anything with these inventories? No. Definitely up. Oh. Bill can plant a flag. Bill cannot use any of his Kerbal attachments, so we definitely have to work on that. So we recover. We'll deal with that later. It's gonna have to be an offline troubleshooting. Oh. I recovered Bill only. Whoopsie. Let's see. Cover that guy. Yep, done with that. What else we got here? These are comm satellites, 4 landers in orbit, and the broken rover that never seemed to make it. So, whoopsie on that. Let me save this game real quick, and let me reload it so it just reloads those parts into memory, just to be on the safe side. Let's see. Put out. And reload. Reload Kerbal rope. Oh, this actually could show me if it's loading or not. So I have Kerbal attachment system is loading, and the Kerbal inventory system, they both loaded no problem. Module manager was the other one. I don't know if that's up as a plugin, because it's a DLL and not necessarily a plugin. Yeah. All right. Well, it is what it is. All right. So reloading Kerbal to fix the broken landing legs parts that we found a hot fix for, and then I'm gonna go. We're gonna go to Minmus and we're gonna land and we're gonna test those new legs and the new lander that we built with all sorts of fun science built into it. So, let's see what we got here. Takes a second to load. I got 1 or 2 plugins to deal with. Go to the old Googles here. Wiregun says, "I bet you Elon Musk is proud." Well, you know, if I put a Tesla in orbit, as someone else had mentioned the other night, uh, maybe he would take notice, right? I don't know, man. I think the whole commercialization of space is awesome, and I cannot wait to get a reasonable price seat on a space vessel. Current prices are a little out of this world for something that hasn't even been, actualized yet. So, all right. So, start talking about what we got to load here. Got a new plugin to show my crafts. So, advanced orbit 2B, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. 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 I'm wondering. Got the supplies for this mission. 13 days. Probably enough. It's not going to take that long to get out there. We usually have plenty of supplies to get back. Habitation could be an issue. Again, the lander is offering habitation as well. Let's see. No good place to put this. That's the problem. Like, I'd love to place it somewhere. Doing that looks good. I believe. Wiregun said, "Did I know if Elon actually plays Kerbal?" No, he actually plays Kerbal Space Program in his free time. I believe it. You know, it's interesting. There are a lot of people out there that play video games on their free time for various reasons, of various levels of prominence. So, I'm not surprised by that. Let's load Advanced Orbit. Load that. Don't sleep. Graphic, I cancel that. Alright, so next we're gonna load where's my lander? Advanced Lander. Advanced Lander 1B. Merging that in. Boop. There we go. To that shroud. So, Lord willing, that update I just did will solve a lot of problems. This guy's got all sorts of new science built into him. He even has the ability to do some telemetry scanning. So that way when I leave him up there, he can actually do something, right? We're calling this Advanced Orbit 2B. Ship. Perfect. Okay. This. And we're going to merge in. Continue. Merge in. Advanced lift middle. Advanced middle one. I changed the engine on this thing and everything. Mamma mia. Hopefully it works. I haven't tested it yet. Untested vessel. About to go up. These engines kick off. Break that off. These off when we don't need them anymore. Oh yeah, okay. That on. Okay. There. That. Build the fairing now. Up a little. Open and merge. Save. Continue. And let's see. Now let's merge Advanced Lifter 1B. Go. I gotta fix all the staging again. That's next. Fairing what we're peeling off as we go up. Those should be last but not least, that guy. Grab a few. That kicks off, guys. Wow, alright, staging looks good. Engines. Tear, 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 tear. Those engines. That off, break those off. Decent amount of delta V. Wish I had more. I'm not really sure where I put that delta V. And still get this thing off the ground. Center of weight, thrust. Looking good there. It just somehow made a boomer, says wire guns. Bomber, oh yeah. Give this a try. Not gonna bring Bill. Are gonna bring Valentina and Bob. We'll give this a try. Launch this. The goal, Minmus. Goal is Minmus. Whether that happens or not, we have to find out. Alright. Habitation looks good. Aging. Go. And guidance from Mech Jab for sure, because we'd love to make this work. We are going to set as target. I should launch to match the plane. Launch to rendezvous. Yeah, let's just launch to match the plane. Do this at kilometers. Yeah, wire gun. The landing gear is very, very important, as I have learned many times over. Oh, and here we go. So Minmus is our target. Minmus is our target. Pretty good chance we'll make it. We're gonna match the planes first. Step 1. Then we'll do a transfer burn, same that we've done before. Please don't break anything. That would stink. Whoa. Oh, I forgot the damn...
What happened?
I forgot the
Something
struts.
exploded.
No, it's okay. Nothing got damaged. I forgot the struts on the external tanks. I forgot that I added them. I have to add them after the fact. I didn't put them in when I was building this. I was so excited to get the Minmus.
Damn, I thought we were gonna have a catastrophic failure.
No catastrophic failure. Sorry. Not tonight, Deck. We gotta be getting close to Sea of Thieves, though, no?
I've been ready.
Yes, struts are very important, wire guns. I 100% agree with you. I just forgot them. You know, there's an auto strut feature, but honestly, I don't use it because I feel like if I make the mistake, it's my own darn fault, and I should learn from that. So I'll make a note for this ship to fix it the next time we go. Double check struts. Huh. So, Deck, where do you think I should put my scrolling chat?
Did you find an add-on that'll do both?
Restream offers a link to it.
That'll like bring both chats in one window within your overlay.
I have an app that that I downloaded from them that I can do it on my PC, but it's also a web link that I can include into Streamlabs.
I think it really depends on the game. So, for instance, like Kerbal, I would put it over the Kerbals because they don't really, their pictures.
They don't bring anything to the game, is what you're saying.
So I would put it over that. Depending on the game is depending on where the overlay. Like, you know how you have different overlays for different games. That's where I would lay it out. Depends on the game.
That's a bit on the aggressive side.
What happened there?
It declamped, but the one didn't go away, so I lost one of my nose cones. It's okay.
User joined your channel.
Thanks for the follow on Mixer Wire Guns. King Killer says Auto Strut as disabled, root heaviest part, and grandparent as an option with default being disabled. Yeah, and I have it disabled right now. Though that does still be forgiving enough to let you change that mid-flight. You know, I know better on this ship. I have launched this ship a handful of times, and I know better. I should have strutted it, but fortunately, the failure was minor. The issue here was just an auto stage thing. I mean, it's being lazy, right? I let MechJab kind of do some of it, but it's okay because we didn't fail in our launch. We just simply had a minor technical malfunction. We had a minor wardrobe malfunction. But that's okay because we're going to be getting rid of these nacelles in a second here. So just get ourselves a little stabilized here. Don't need that anymore. We are going to use TAC fuel balancer to dump all the excess fuel. Wire guns on Mixer has a question. What's that question, bud? Not those. Adios, dude. Ah, Killer King. Yes, yeah, no. I think in a previous stream someone had mentioned it to me, and I actually did not know about it, and then did some research on it. But I was lamenting that I had forgotten my struts, and that I should have known better, and that I could turn the option on, but I should just know better because I've launched this particular type of vessel like I don't know, like 2 dozen times now, and every time I put struts on, except this one time because I'm super psyched about landing on Minmus for the first time. So I got all sorts of eager, like a kid in a candy store. Um, and Wire Gun's question is, how do you get a perfect orbit, or at least almost perfect? Well, I mean, first off, I just use MechJab for this orbit, so that's not even fair because like I didn't really do it. But ultimately, it's making sure. Hold on one second, guys. I got my 8-year-old here watching me play Kerbal as I answer this question. So ultimately, you want to make sure that you start your gravity turn at a time where your vessel can support that, and then and then it's just a matter of waiting to burn your at the top of your orbit so you maximize the amount of fuel that you have that you're leveraging. So again, perfect orbit. It's just working on making sure that your vessel is well balanced, right? I use only one set of wings, and that's just to help with our aerodynamics. And then basically working on having a vessel that's just evenly distributed with weight and thrust. Hold on one second, guys. I just want to say goodnight to my kids. All right. My little Kerbernauts are on their way to bed, and we are on our way to Minmus.
Let me guess, he has a green shirt on because it was changing colors.
Was it? Yeah, he had a green shirt on. I didn't see. Oh, I gotta find the video. We'll have to rewatch the video.
Yeah, his shirt turned gray, then it turned black. And when it was black, it was like just the head.
The chromie key replacement. Yeah, that's funny. All right. Well, I can do this. 874. Oof. Holy heck.
And hello, DVD.
Hello.
What's up, DVD?
Hello.
How are you, brother?
He's ready to be a pirate.
Oh, yes.
I am too. I am too. I'm gonna finish up this maneuver
Sorry about
here.
Your phone this morning.
No, you're not.
You're not. And I did
Not
it
at all.
I'm actually really happy that it was on vibrate and not on loud, because I would have woken up earlier than I wanted to.
Make that work. We're executing this node.
In that thread.
Oh, they were good. As I woke up, I was like, who texted me 25 times? I was like, what is this?
We had a lot to say. We had a lot to say, man, is what it comes down to. We had a lot of things to say to you. Well, we were able to get heroic done last night. We
I saw.
think we brought a good level of support to the raid, and were able to help finish it off. So all things worked out well.
That's good.
All right, Minmus, here we come. Here we come. Get some solar panels going here, so I get some electricity. I am ready for Sea of Thieves, though. Did you read the patch notes for Sea of Thieves that just came out yesterday?
I did not.
They changed the respawn range. So now when your ship sinks, you respawn out of view of wherever the attacker was. Specifically because of fort griefing. Or like people coming in and like scuttling their ship or being sunk and then just respawning and immediately returning to the fight with like a fully stocked vessel. So like the
Makes
attacking
sense.
ship, yeah, of course, right? So the attacking ship comes in, does their job, sinks them, and then is immediately fighting a fully stocked, fully repaired vessel, and you're like, I just spent all that time, fighting you to lose it.
That's good.
That Man, Solo, I hope this patch fix that I installed on these landing legs works, because I'll be super upset. Well, I won't be upset, but man, it'd be a total bummer if I lose
You'll be
landing
upset
legs
if you
again.
explode again.
It'll be more entertaining if you explode again. Yeah. Alright, keep this in prograde. Let's see, where's the rest of this fuel? Probably on this guy here, right? Yeah, okay. So okay. Right. I only hope you explode a little, says Solo on Twitch. Thanks. Has deck gotten into your head? That must
No.
be okay. We are going to do a quick.
I'm gonna assume you didn't set up so you can play music while you're playing this very quiet game.
No, I'm just gonna talk. You're gonna hear my beautiful voice the whole time.
Really?
Stop
I
it,
put
you.
on my own music earlier. Turned it down so I could still hear you, though.
Woo! CS for max 1 second. Bonkers on. Just want to connect to this thing. Turnaround wasn't as good as it could have been. Better now. Taking a second. Okay, Minmus, still our target. How far off are we? We're not that far off at all. Okay, how far away is that? 5 days away. Okay, underestimated how how long it would take to get there. Oh. Hey, relax. What's going on here? Oh, that's going on here. Yeah, Solo, I agree. KIS and KAS not working does seem a little interesting. I'm gonna look into it a little more after the stream just to get a sense of like what is going on here. Oh, our Kerbals are not gonna be happy at all. We are gonna have some serious problems in a second. Their habitation is
3
an
days,
issue.
it's a 5-day trip. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I don't want to talk about it. I think it can be remote controlled once we're in. Pretty sure the command pod can be remote controlled.
You better hope so. It's gonna be a rescue mission.
Well, they won't die. I mean, like they won't die. They just will refuse to work.
Fly an unmanned vessel with habitation with life support on it.
Add a maneuver at the Periapis to, or I'll be flying a rescue mission up. That's what it will be. Hold on. Abort this node execution. Let's go prograde for a second. It's okay. DVD's the same way. He corrects my pronunciation of things constantly. Because I can't say anything appropriate correctly. The English language is a struggle.
That's what I'm here for.
Don't I know it, brother? Oh god, don't hit that. Okay, we're good. See, now Jebediah has 12 days to have to. I don't understand. I need a better vessel for Minmus if I'm going to do more of these. Though I can actually land this lander without even taking these guys off the vessel, and I might actually do that. Because they're going to be pretty agitated with me. Target range on this 250,000. Darn thing. Land or something. Oh, there. There it is. Let's see. Change inclination. Let's change that. I'm wondering if we should just land this bad boy now that we're in range. 'Cause we are in range. Question is when I detach this, how much do I lose as far as habitation? And does Valentina and Bob just basically say, I'm not doing it because you didn't give me the habitation? I got 3 days on this. 3 days. Not going to take 3 days to land, do science, and come back. That's for sure. So, not going to take 3 days to do those things. Have time. Let's change our pair. Change this to nothing. Not going to change it to anything. Change our inclination to 0. We'll do that. Execute that node real quick. At least get us in a stable-ish orbit, though we do have to leave this thing in some sort of like angular orbit so that way we can scan more of the ground here. Is stat scan telemetry. Industrial body, Minmus. Go. Map type. Oop. Not a second. So we're gonna try to land probably in the, here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, that seems to be in line with what we want. This one is target on map. The Great Flats, the Greater Flats. If there's any place to land, the Greater Flats would be it. Something nice and flat.
Still bust off a lander.
You start with me there, sassy pants.
I think 2 legs will go. Nah, but you install the hotfix, you'll probably be alright.
Not there. Target on map. Show landing predictions. Currently none because we're not there yet. All right. Transfer. Module is either full or internally unreachable. It's internally unreachable. Docked. Transfer crew. But Jebediah. No, even Jebediah can't go there. Okay. We're internally unreachable. Fine. See if we can get you in the old-fashioned way, shall we? Valentina, now for you, because for some reason we're having an issue with the docking port. So you're gonna do the same thing without getting kicked off to space. All right. Let's see. Do we have everything else we need on this vessel? Probably. We have some food in here. We're gonna dock. Going to this vessel. Advanced orbiter 2B. And here. Is fully crewed with the ability to be piloted. Yes. Okay. Rename vessel. Inmus Under 1. Okay. Guys, target on the map. Beep. Orbital speed. Just a retrograde. Close to that guy, but prograde. Not far to go now. Nope, we are rapidly approaching. Take it easy, Solo. Alright, let's see how well we can get this thing to not crash into the darn planet, shall we? Where's your broski there, Deck? Maybe he'll be on shortly, you think?
I have no idea.
extremely excited.
She is excited. She's like jumping for joy. She's like, I'm about to land on Minmus. Yes. Smelly knee growth. Yo, what's up, Smelly knee? How you doing, brother? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. That's awesome. We are currently in the process of attempting to land on Minmus for the first time. Hopefully it doesn't go horribly wrong, though it could.
Here we go.
Here we go indeed, Deck. $2,200 meters and falling. Need to hope that that plugin the patch fix I just installed works. What we need to hope for.
User joined your channel.
There he is.
Odie reporting for Sibian duty.
Nice.
Whoa.
Well, you're just in time for me to finish this landing, so we can go play Sea of Thieves.
Oh, that means I gotta watch you while you crash land. I mean land.
Crash landing could happen. I don't know.
Hey, crash landing is still a landing.
Crash landing is still a landing. You are right. I'm 1,600 meters away from knowing the truth to whether or not I will land. "35 seconds until impact."
Oh, DVD. How close were you to the earthquake?
Oh, it shook my whole apartment.
Did it really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That must have been interesting.
Oh, it shook it pretty good. I thought stuff was gonna start falling down.
Wow, that's gotta be scary because you can't get away.
That's why you just ride it. You know, there's nothing you can do. So enjoy that your building is shaking.
Just ride it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There it is.
Come on, are you gonna crash this thing already?
500 meters. 500 meters. I'll know the answer.
Put it in like high speed mode.
I'm not putting it in high speed.
So this gets
Oh,
done
'cause
in about a
then they'll
second.
crash.
20 seconds until impact.
He's still going too fast down, so we'll see. He's trying to make it faster, and he's gonna make a mistake and crash it.
So what's inside the landing rover?
Science. Lots of science. There's no rover this time. We're just doing
You
this
guys
for
that can't
science.
see straight ahead.
If they turn their head, they can.
It looks like what's his name on the right there is like gonna lick the screen.
Valentina.
Yeah.
Her facial expression hasn't moved. She must have some strong jaw muscles.
Yeah, and a really
It's
dry
been-
mouth.
Been holding it for a long time.
Bob's just saying, you know, I hope he doesn't send me out into space again.
Once he crashes, it's gonna turn into a red splat.
Man, that smile's just getting bigger and bigger over there.
I'm worried she's gonna start licking the window.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like she's going to. Oh, 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 oh. Why are we
Yeah,
going
we
up?
didn't want to land anyway. Let's go
Yeah,
back.
we're just gonna go back up.
Psych!
Hold on. Oh, no!
He bounced it.
It's basketball.
Ground tether toggled. We are on Minmus. We did not
Alright.
blow it up. You can all go suck it in my head right now. All you rooting for my failure. That was so mean. Alright, let's get some science done real quick here.
Yeah, because we have Sea of Thieves to play.
Make sure you put your solar panels out so you have enough electricity.
They're out. Out. Pretty pants. Why isn't the... Did I just do it a second? Okay. Now, let's do a little quick EVA here with Bob. I'll have to make the sound effects for everyone because sound effects apparently.
This is where Bob's smile turns to a frown because he may get shot into space again.
And spun around like a top.
We're heading down to the surface of Minmus. Gonna plant a flag on the ground.
Why does Bob get to go and Valentina doesn't get to go? Is it because Bob's a guy?
Because Bob's a scientist.
Wow.
He's doing science. Same reason why.
Are you saying Valentina can't do science?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here it is.
But
Plant fat.
PD, why are you assuming gender?
Oh
I'm not.
God. Oh God. This is just going south so quickly.
Stream, TOS.
Oh, whoops. Whoops.
That's right.
Minmus first landing. Wow. Okay.
Bye,
Apparently-
Bob.
Apparently,
Oh, geez.
apparently jumping is a thing. Wow. Holy cow.
What are you doing with Bob, man?
Bob's like every trip up here is like a roller coaster.
Surprised he didn't start spinning around in circles.
All right,
Surprised
Bob.
One of his mask is in green because he puked in his helmet.
Oh my God. Bob's fine. Bob's fine. No harm has come to Bob. Though I have to probably work on this ladder. There it is.
Just
Forward.
as he's going inside, make sure you close the door on him.
Okay, Valentina. It's been requested that you also get a chance to come out. So now Valentina is going to come out because heaven forbid.
Both of them.
She's grabbing the ladder like when we're coming out of the crow's nest on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, she's got to slide down. Or person has to slide down.
Woohoo!
And he. No.
Just leave it alone, man.
Oh no! Jump again! Where are we going?
Thank you for the additional science, Valentina. Your services will not be forgotten.
Are you gonna plant another flag?
No, I don't need another flag. That would be pointless. As it is, they're barely going to make it back because they're probably going to run out of habitation, and they're all going to be sorts of fussy, and it's going to be very interesting.
You're gonna kill them on the way back?
Oh, whatever. It is what it is.
Poor Bob. He gets
Okay.
abused.
Breaking the ground tether. Pulling these, tracking these ladders. Okay, let's see. Sent guidance. Definitely using that for this one. We don't need that anymore. Map. We need to match. Set as target. Okay, launch to rendezvous. 1 day, 1 hour. Oh, hold on. Valentina, they have plenty of time. Actually, do I really want? I want to do that. This thing needs 250,000. We're going to. So we're going to go to 250,000 at an inclination of 45 degrees. So what we left on this vehicle is we left a surface scanner that will scan continuously. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the vessel in an orbit that will kind of ensure that we hit the hit Minmus in most of its places. It won't obviously get all of it, but it will get enough that we'll be able to have some telemetry on some better landing spots in the future. And then that way, I mean, the lander isn't just sitting here with no point whatsoever. Right, with the chatter. Mamma mia. Okay. So. Shut down these engines, kick SAS in. Out. 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 Sunlight. Ideal. Altitude. Scanning Minmus. Perfect. Alright, now we're gonna go this guy. Pitch to the command module. And we gotta go pick these guys up real quick. Get their science and boogie back to Kerbal. Alright, see. Target. Match planes with target. Great node. If you guys want, I can we can load up Sea of Thieves. I can have it in the background and join up so we can start the process.
I mean, we're just waiting for you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to just wait for me. But this will only take a few more minutes here.
Yeah.
Rendezvous shouldn't take too much. Do you hear that? Do you hear the sassiness in that response from
No,
Deck?
I don't hear that at all.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. She's lying to us now. Let's see. 79.
At
least the boat will look good when I get in there.
Should have slipped. Oh well, fix that.
I hit accept, but it doesn't look like it's... Oh, okay. Yes, it is.
They did not fix the Xbox Insider issue.
I don't even have Xbox Insider installed.
Neither do I.
Story of my life, man. Story of my life.
So
Maybe
you
if
can't
you
uninstall
uninstall both.
I
and then
uninstalled
just
both and reinstalled the game.
Reinstall Sea of Thieves, yeah.
I'm not reinstalling Sea of Thieves tonight. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
Not with that internet you got.
Oh my god, dude.
What's wrong with his internet?
And absolutely nothing. He's just sassy, that's all.
When is Deck not sassy? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, he is.
He gets pissed off about everything. Trust me, I know he's my brother.
Well, I still haven't gotten a message from them.
They had a post on their
my outfit.
on their website that you're supposed to open a ticket if you haven't gotten the Black Dog set yet.
Did they? Because I checked the support page where it says
find
like
it for
where
you.
is it? I mean, I'll open one, but I've opened one already, and they just linked to me the one in the support page, and they keep logging on and refreshing it, but they're not actually changing anything. They're just using the same text, so it changes the date that it was last modified, and that's it.
They had it. Hold on. Some players have not yet received the Black Dog pack code yet. If you pre-ordered from the official Microsoft Store, please submit a support ticket through support. Where is the link? Here's the link.
Doing it now. Thank you.
Here, I'll put it in the
I need another invite, by the way.
chat box here. Read the patch notes at the very bottom and known issues.
Alright, let's finish this up now.
Push the talk, push the talk, push the talk, push the talk.
How about
You
me?
guys hear me?
How about me?
I don't hear you.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Wrap this up.
I'm assuming you guys can't hear me because I was typing. No one said anything.
I don't hear you.
Alright, perfect.
Let me put down a voyage.
Yeah, put one down in a second.
Oh no, I thought I heard the noise for it. That was weird.
I've been hearing it. It just kind of comes up every now and then.
Yeah.
I believe it was that sound. It's a funny voyage.
It's a clown voyage.
It is.
Oh, with us four playing, it absolutely is.
Finally landed on Duna, high wire guns. That's pretty cool. Good job, man. Just match planes, match velocity with targets at closest node. Wow. Feels dangerous. Alright. Execute next. Come on, Jebediah, let's go get these
yeah,
guys.
it's over here by the
You
gold,
guys having
the gold guy. He makes this noise.
Are you guys having any issues with pushing like shift to run and stuff?
No, why?
Maybe it's just my client.
It is.
I'm hitting shift and it's not doing anything.
You sure your shift is mapped correctly?
Yeah, because sometimes it works.
Maybe it's your keyboard?
The keyboard.
Maybe it's the user? That's what I'm going with. ID10TR.
Whatever.
I get that error all the time. I haven't figured out why yet.
Well, wire guns, congrats on your landing on Duna. I'm wrapping up my landing here on Minmus and collecting some Kerbins, though I don't think the docking port's properly attached to this vessel, which is why I can't collect them. So hopefully I can pick them up now. Connected here. So no. Okay, well. Okay. Some EVAs then. First collect all the science that we can. All items can. Great. Let's see. Review stored data. Oh, I can transmit that back. That's 100%. So we'll transmit this. Transfer any data back that gets us 100% science on the return.
I think we've cleaned out all of the supplies.
I believe so.
Want to leave the back two cannonball free for shooting?
Yep.
One on each side, right?
It's normally what I do.
Okay, all set.
Well, I have no idea what your payload to Duna was. Was it an unmanned probe that you shot directly at Duna in the hopes of just simply getting it on the ground? Huh. Broken. Oh. That's why. Already observation there.
I want to know why it puts puke on your camera when you're dancing if you're in third-person view.
It was a mini Tesla Roadster wire guns. That's cool.
Vomit all over the place here. I can't stand still.
Bob at least get out. Let's Bob EVA. First mainnet disembark from the vessel. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Hey, I guess you will not be staying around Bark and your docking port seems broken.
You broke the docking port?
It must have been when I was building it. There must be some issue with the docking port not working properly. Then again, I also did connect. I added a plugin, and maybe that plugin broke it. I added connected living spaces.
Oh, you're not supposed to plug into the docking port.
Ah, I can't disembark them because they're homesick, which is fine. But if I get them vicinity of home, that would solve some problems.
So, DVD, how's the new drive treating you?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I don't know why I waited so long to get one.
Oh, you got a solid state?
I did.
Yeah, he got a super slow drive.
Yep. Remember we talked about it.
I don't know if he was on when we were going through it. When you were listing what you were getting.
Might be one of those times where he muted us.
Maybe.
Could be.
Or it's his selective hearing.
Possibly.
It's probably that.
Okay.
God, I hate when you have a really long password and you get to the very end and you typo it and have to do it all over again.
I hate that.
Ah. Ah, well, whatever. Too late to worry about that. Well, I fixed the issue with the transfer. It was, in fact, a plugin. Of course, I did it only after.
Some of the barrels respawned.
Did it only after I started my trip home. Oh, I might need another invite. I think I might have just timed out. Did time out. Hopefully you didn't get a random Joe.
Jack, are you sending an invite to him?
Working on it, working on it.
Okay. I just didn't know if he needed somebody else to do it.
Come on. That's not good.
They're gonna be really hungry by the time they get home. Invite sent. That's why the mission started. Did you hear the noise? Because he DC'd, so he didn't need that vote.
Oh, that's
Gotcha.
why.
I'm back in now.
There's always a logical explanation for things. Well, usually.
Change that. Let's create that. Oh.
He's still not even.
I'm here.
You're still away from your landing.
Got MechJab doing it right now. Taking care of maneuver for me.
Your push to talk's not on.
Yep.
Meaning you can hear
I
everything
hear
I'm
you.
saying. Our mateys!
I hear it twice.
It's bad enough hearing it one time. Wait,
Right.
what?
The love is real. The love is real.
All right, let's
You were all thinking it. I just said it.
out to whatever maps we have. 3 maps. Did you mark them yet? Okay, Captain. All 3 islands are marked on the map. Pick a direction and go.
I'm not on the ship yet.
Too bad.
So rude.
Hey, Silence. What is the mission? The mission was we landed on Minmus for the first time, which was a success. And right now we are basically returning to Kerbin with our science. The only negative to this mission was the fact that we had inadequate habitation for the Kerbals. So I have it set that they just go to tourist mode because killing them off just seems a little aggressive for a simple mistake. So they're in tourist mode, but we have communication up, so we should be able to land this vessel via via automation.
Which one are you going to? Northwest, north, or north?
Sound muted.
So that's where we're at right now. We're just wrapping this this mission up. We get a lot of good science. Hopefully we won't have any issues with landing these guys on the planet. I do have a concern about the whole automation probe control once we re-enter Kerbin's atmosphere. So what we're going to be doing is shooting for a KSP landing. So that way we have communication at all time. Or at least, you know. Simple mistakes which killed every yeah, true, very, very true. But I can't bear to lose Jebediah and Bob and Valentina. I feel like that would be very unfortunate. So I'll have to build a better vessel for Minmus because of the habitation settings. Don't get me wrong, they have food. They're just cranky because they're homesick. So they still have 11 days worth of food. They just don't want to be cramped up anymore. So we'll get them. Get them down. No big deal. Yeah. Yeah. Valentina, you're out. Or the weekend. Bye. And I had an issue with the plugin a little earlier. I had added connected living spaces, so I had a better sense of like I could see all of the living spaces in one better context. And what I didn't pay attention to is that by doing that, it would limit certain certain items. So like for example, like I couldn't go through the docking ports. So I brought this whole damn thing back just to find out that I didn't need to bring the whole thing back because halfway through I realized that it was a mod that was causing the issues. So okay though, figure it out. So I'll have to bring up a better vessel for more Minmus operations, so that way I'm not left out of habitation. Though realistically, I don't even need to drop the Kerbins on Minmus because if I put satellites, CLS is meant to be used alongside ship manifest. Like when I'm connecting two ships together, or I don't have. Do I have ship manifest? I don't think I have ship manifest. I'm gonna make a note of the comment you just made, and I'm gonna take a look at that after my stream here. Thank you for that information. Right now I'm using a lot of mech jab to get through this because it's actually pretty much the end of my Kerbal stream. I'm actually going to be moving over to Sea of Thieves right after this, and so my Sea of Thieves pirate crew is already out and about on the ship. So want to at least get this down. I didn't want to just leave this guy up in space for no reason. So we're we're trucking along here. Fortunately, we got a communication network up. We got a lot of vessels available to us. So we should be able to get these guys down under full probe control the entire time. And then the next mission will be once again out to Minmus. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a mission out to Minmus just strictly around the idea of getting more communication satellites out there. So that way we can do some unmanned science missions instead of manned science missions to get a little more of the science, couple more parts that we need to be able to build slightly more robust vehicles, and then add more habitation modules. Because this guy is great for Mun, really is. But this orbiter is not good for Minmus. It's just too far away for what I need to do. So that's okay. You live and you learn. Come up with a new game plan. No, 100% out of supplies. I know. Solo mentioned to me that about Eve and OPM. So I have that in my list of add-ons. I didn't DC from Sea of Thieves. Don't worry. I have it on my list of add-ons to add on to install most likely tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna add it because I added Scatter and it looked pretty good. Do you build bases on planets? Wire guns asked from Mixer. I have not yet, but I fully intend on adding that onto my list of things to do. Yes. Okay. So that guy out of my way so I don't ran into him. You want more suggestions for purely aesthetic mods? Sure, absolutely. I'm interested in improving the aesthetics. I added Scatter and I immediately noticed some improvements that I was like, oh, this is nice. And Machine could certainly handle it, so there's no reason why I can't do it. So. Send them along, and I'll take a look at the those mods. Take a look at those mods and see if I can get them loaded up. Scatter was easy, obviously, but I looked at some of the other mods, and some of them are a little more complex. But not that I can't do it, just planet shine, distant object. Okay. I will get started and looking on those because, that's one thing about this game is like some of the aesthetics are not necessarily as great as they could be, right? And that's fine. That is what it is. But I would like to make some improvements, I think. Got it. Yeah, I've noticed a couple mods that they just haven't updated yet, but we'll work here. Seriously, with non-stop adjustments. I apologize in advance for neck jab. Mama me. How close are we? Oh, we're in the neighborhood now, man. It's fine. Back down to the atmosphere, shall we? Okay. That bad boy. Continue our descent down. Thank you for those mods, by the way, Silence. I'll absolutely take a look at all of that. They do want to improve the visual appeal. Cool, you guys know each other. Look at that. They're no longer homesick and able to do their jobs and assist with making sure that we don't crash into the plane. And before anyone says anything, yes, I know, there are a ton of parachutes that are about to come out. I appreciate the views. It's very nice of you to be out. Yeah. You know what it is? It worked the first time, and I just never really got around to altering it the second time. But look at this, I'm coming in pretty fast, even with all these shoots. I'm gonna hit the side of a freaking mountain. Ay ay ay. Why I'm so heavy right now? I don't know, but I'm gonna be sliding like you wouldn't believe. Man, I hope this is a flat surface right here. Oh, don't roll. Ah, hold it. Recover vessel. No Kerbins died, and we only had our Minmus lander have to come back to Kerbin, but not the end of the world. That could have been worse. Let's see what our science pull is. 726 science plus the 200 I already transmitted. Yes, that's 1,000 science in the hopper. I did make it to Minmus. I made it to Minmus. I landed on Minmus. I didn't blow up any legs, so that patch definitely worked. I made it off of Minmus. The Kerbals were a little upset with me. The Kerbals were a little upset with me due to their homesickness, but we made it back, and we had 100 science when we started, so we made about 900. Um, yeah, like 800 and change in science. So that's going to be nice for our next mission where we can. Well, we're not going to do this big one. That's aggressive, but we're going to probably be working on improving our structural situation, specifically metamaterials for building space stations, and start to work on maybe more long-term habitability up in space, so that way we can kind of stay up there, work on Mun for some ore and building up our fuel supplies. And then we're also going to be working on some unmanned missions to Minmus to do some more science without necessarily having to deal with worrying about habitability or supplies. But oh, thank you very much. But for now, we're gonna be closing out a Kerbal here real quick, and I'm gonna be moving over to Sea of Thieves to do a little bit of piracy on the high seas. But I want to thank everyone for coming out to see the Kerbal stream, and by all means, if you're interested in Sea of Thieves, stick around and see what kind of trouble we get in with over there.